Scheana and Lala's status as parents doesn't elevate their importance. I'm fed up with their constant refrain of "we're moms, so you have to do X because we have to support our kids." Seriously, I made the choice to have a child, not my colleagues or family. It's solely my responsibility to provide for her, no one else's. By over-dramatizing their roles and trying to outshine their friends, they've tarnished the show and come off as greedy individuals willing to do anything for a paycheck. It's evident they never considered these people as genuine friends on the reality show. They were merely colleagues, and Ariana mistakenly believed otherwise. With friends like them, who needs enemies? My heart goes out to Ariana, who thought she had genuine support during tough times, only to realize they were scheming behind her back for personal gain. I have immense respect for dedicated mothers who don't receive enough recognition, appreciation, or personal time. I'm fortunate to have a wonderful mother myself, and I cherish her for all she does. However, Scheana and Lala repeatedly using their motherhood as a shield against criticism is becoming tiresome. It's a slippery slope from this random event impacted me as a mother to guilt-tripping your child by saying, "How could you? I did everything for you. I'm your mother." Scheana's excuse about reconciling with Sandoval because she's a mom and was emotional in front of her child is absurd. Every issue seems to circle back to that. Scheana's insistence on forgiving Sandoval because of her role as a parent and Lala's justifications for her actions based on motherhood need to cease. It's baffling that Scheana tries to involve Ariana and her issues with Sandoval under the guise of it affecting her as a parent. The Tom and Ariana situation has nothing to do with Scheana, Brock, or Summer Moon. It's evident she's self-centered and lacks awareness. Scheana and Lala's bitterness stems from their failed attempts to leverage Sandoval for personal gain, as they lack the unique qualities that make them stand out. They're inauthentic, and their appeal is limited to VPR. Without the show, they lack relevance. Their reasoning doesn't hold up. If their kids aren't in daycare, why do they require so much money? They'd still need funds for essentials like clothing and food. It's simply an excuse to justify their self-worth. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Spill Chronicles. It's me, Ramona here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. On the other hand, isn't it hilarious how Sandoval's comebacks are just recycled insults thrown back at people? For instance, when Ariana accuses him of being performative, his brilliant response is, "She's the performative one." It's amusing how James effortlessly shuts down Sandoval's attempts to sound superior, highlighting Sandoval's need to prepare his responses beforehand because he can't think on his feet. Take, for example, when Sandoval compares his treatment to Scott Peterson's, and Schwartz calls him out by reminding him of Peterson's infamous crime. Sandoval's awkward allegedly speaks volumes. I wouldn't be surprised if half of Sandoval's journal entries were actually letters sympathizing with Scott Peterson. Jax is no better, as seen when he stumbles over his words after Katie turns the tables on him during a discussion about his internet reputation. During the reunion, Sandoval's scripted response echoes Ariana's from a past season, giving off a performative and unsettling vibe, as if he's mimicking behavior he's seen on TV, which is just plain creepy. It's frustrating when someone you dislike makes a valid point, but ruins it with flawed logic. Case in point, Sandoval's attempt to justify blocking Summer Moon on IG. No, just own up to it. It's obvious why he'd block Scheana's other account, and let's be real, it's bizarre that she even has that account in the first place. Moreover, why is Joe coming so hard for Katie? I haven't finished watching part 2 of the reunion, but my blood pressure is through the roof. I can't believe Joe had the audacity to go so hard at Katie. I get that Katie said some harsh stuff, but I would have done the same in her situation. Also, why isn't Joe going just as hard at Schwartz? He's the only one who owes her anything. I just can't imagine being Joe, doing something so sketchy, then being upset at the woman I hurt. She bursted into tears when talking about Katie, but didn't when Schwartz minimized their relationship in front of the cameras once again. I think one of the reasons I'm so hot is that I feel the reunion is concentrating on the wrong things. Are we never going to talk about how Tim lied through his freaking teeth during the last reunion? How about how he never really apologized for what he did? Can we get a question that addresses the rampant jealousy in the group? How about why Scheana thinks she and Tim are such good friends when he encouraged Rachel with her restraining order? No, Andy is just going to ask softball questions about why Scheana is upset that she hasn't been invited on Dancing with the Stars or Schwartz's new girlfriend. Spare me. And I think Joe is jealous of Katie and of the fact that she was actually in a real relationship with Schwartz. Meanwhile, Schwartz wouldn't even admit he was in a relationship with Joe. I also think Joe is trying to jump on the bandwagon with everyone else who hates Katie and thinks she's mean and miserable. Joe isn't going hard on Schwartz because she still wants to be with him. And this is exactly why this entire season is such a flop. They're trying to gaslight us into believing that Sandoval is genuinely remorseful without him having to specify exactly what he's remorseful for. I know what I did to Ariana was like, so fucked up, man, but we were living separate lives, and she's flipping the Monopoly board, isn't showing remorse, lol. And then Lala having the audacity to insinuate that Katie isn't being authentic when Sandoval still hasn't, authentically or otherwise, even addressed the lies he told during the last reunion. These producers are either the biggest idiots of all time, or they think we're the biggest idiots of all time. Additionally, Lala really messed up by breaking the fourth wall. Revealing that she manufactures conversations for the show and then acts differently when she finds out genuine moments weren't aired demonstrates her willingness to sacrifice authenticity for the sake of TV drama. It's clear she's scripted and has detracted from the genuine essence of the show. I had hoped the producers would break the fourth wall in a meaningful way, but their approach fell flat. If they truly wanted to break the fourth wall, they should have compelled Sandoval to apologize to the audience for withholding the truth during the previous reunion. They should have acknowledged that many storylines from last season were fabricated while off-camera affairs were happening, yet they attempted to manipulate viewers into believing Katie was the villain. This season should have centered on Sandoval's genuine efforts at self-improvement through real therapy, repairing his relationships with Schwartz and James. The male and female cast members could have had distinct storylines until Lisa's events, with the season climaxing in Scheana's confrontation and apology to Sandoval. The disjointed feel of the season stems from Sandoval's plea for understanding due to his mental health struggles, yet he didn't demonstrate any real, tangible change resulting from seeking help. Instead, the producers overly focused on the ensemble cast aspect, despite Ariana filming with Sandoval, even accusing him of being the dog murderer, iconic, whether facetious or not. So why did the entire season revolve around Sandoval apologizing to Ariana on camera, when Ariana had indeed filmed and interacted with Sandoval? Additionally, when did Sandoval actually take genuine accountability on camera? He hasn't addressed the lies from the previous reunion, making him the one with the most to answer for. Ariana owes no one any healing. Lala's approach to breaking the fourth wall was lackluster and reveals her prioritization of the show over her friendships, which isn't as admirable as she believes. However, Lala's lack of respect for others, as highlighted in Reunion Part 2, is concerning. Her assertion that she doesn't need to respect Ariana's boundaries because she doesn't understand her decisions is flawed logic. If everyone operated under this premise, nobody would respect Lala's boundaries either. It's hypocritical for her to expect respect for her boundaries while refusing to extend the same courtesy to others. Evidence from interactions with Amber, where Lala disregarded her requests not to post her children on social media, further supports this lack of respect. Lala's behavior mirrors Rachel's in their shared lack of sympathy, empathy, understanding, and loyalty. Both prioritize money and the show over genuine human connection, morphing their personalities to fit the character mold. This self-centered approach negates rationality, decency, and reasonableness. Lala's heightened hostility towards Ariana this season, particularly in her supposed softer era, lacks justification and suggests jealousy as a motive. The concept of respecting someone or something despite not understanding it is crucial. It's a fundamental lesson taught to children and should be easily grasped by adults, especially in interactions with individuals who differ in appearance, culture, religion, sexuality, or gender identity. The notion that parents are entitled to boundaries because they have children, while childless individuals are not, is offensive. Everyone, regardless of parental status, deserves respect for their boundaries. Implying that parenthood makes someone more deserving of respect diminishes the prerogatives of childless individuals and perpetuates hurtful stereotypes. Parents should pursue what they need while recognizing the equal worth of those without children. On the other hand, Lala's narrative regarding her relationship with Randall seems inconsistent, leaving many confused. On one hand, she claimed she was gaslit and lied to about Randall's marital status, suggesting she was unaware of his marriage. Yet, she also admits to having a side relationship with James, asserting that she couldn't cheat on a married man, implying she knew about Randall's marriage. It's evident that Lala's stories aren't aligning, and this season has left many scratching their heads regarding her character. The incident where she lied about needing time off for a modeling job in Italy, only to be discovered engaging in less savory activities, was revealing. From the outset, Lala's persona seemed to revolve around sexuality, highlighted by her initial Instagram posts and subsequent behaviors. Lala presents a walking contradiction, perpetuating falsehoods about her identity while projecting a bold and assertive image. Despite her claims of being missiled by Randall, it's clear she knew of his marital status from the start. It's possible she was willing to overlook this for her own reasons, leading to a tangled web of deception and betrayal. Ultimately, Lala's actions reflect poorly on her character, illustrating the consequences of playing games in matters of the heart. While she may have believed she was winning in this love triangle, the reality is far from glamorous. Additionally, Reunion Part 2 left many viewers, myself included, feeling infinitely more confused about Schwartz and Joe's relationship. The constant interruptions and evasion of questions made it nearly impossible to glean any clarity. Andy's mediation fell short, resulting in chaos rather than resolution. The whole ordeal highlighted the stark disparity in perceptions between Schwartz and Joe. Their story remains shrouded in mystery, and instead of providing answers, the reunion only served to increase frustration and bewilderment. My heart goes out to Joe, despite my personal feelings toward her. It's evident that she was exploited and humiliated by both production and Schwartz. The finale scene, where she was thrust into an uncomfortable confrontation with Katie, was a clear example of manipulation for dramatic effect. The callous disregard for Joe's well-being is disturbing, and I hope she receives the necessary support and therapy to cope with the aftermath. It was jarring to witness the double standard regarding privacy between Joe and Schwartz's breakup and the scrutiny faced by Ariana and Katie for establishing boundaries earlier in the reunion. Additionally, Joe's resentment towards Katie, despite Schwartz's mistreatment, seems misplaced and unfair. The constant talking over each other made it nearly impossible to follow the conversation, adding to the confusion and frustration. Joe's reaction during Katie's attempt to sympathize with her about Schwartz's behavior was disheartening. Instead of listening and understanding, she seemed preoccupied with her own confusion, missing an opportunity for genuine connection and empathy. Overall, the reunion only served to deepen the complexities of Schwartz and Joe's relationship, leaving viewers more puzzled than before. However, when Sandoval said, "I'm keeping my mouth shut about things I've heard," and they add up James during the end credits of Part 2 of the reunion, he was likely alluding to information he had heard about James's behavior towards Hippie. It's possible that Rachel had confided in Sandoval about James's rough play with Hippie and how it contributed to the dog's aggressive behavior. Rachel may have mentioned that James encouraged biting or enjoyed the pain sensation, which could have exacerbated Hippie's behavior. It's perplexing that Tim would defend Rachel's side of the story, especially considering his previous accusations against her. If Rachel neglected to care for Hippie properly, it would call into question her credibility regarding James's involvement in Hippie's behavior. Sandoval's behavior throughout the reunion, defending Ariana after previously criticizing her, suggests that he grasps at whatever suits his narrative in the moment. His tendency to fabricate or exaggerate information to deflect attention away from himself undermines his credibility, making it difficult to take anything he says seriously. Moreover, it's notable that Lisa's commentary seems more derogatory towards Rachel than Tom. Calling Rachel a Malibu Barbie on WDHL and making fun of her at the reunion does come across as immature and unfair, especially considering Lisa's more forgiving and compassionate approach towards Tom. One might wonder if Lisa's leniency towards Tom stems from their business partnership or if she simply has a bias towards men in general. Her apparent lack of empathy towards Ariana, despite her previous expressions of suicidal feelings, raises questions about where her priorities lie in terms of supporting cast members. It's also worth noting that Lisa appears to be easier on James, despite his disrespectful behavior towards her son. This inconsistency in her treatment of different cast members could indicate underlying biases or preferences. Additionally, Lisa's past comments, such as portraying Jax as a victim and suggesting Raquel was partly to blame for revenge porn, do suggest a problematic attitude towards women. These instances highlight a pattern of misogyny that may influence her interactions and judgments regarding female cast members like Rachel. Additionally, it appears there's confusion regarding the timeline of the conversation between Katie and Lala, particularly regarding references to Ariana's commitments, such as Broadway. If Lala mentioned Broadway, which occurred after filming, during their conversation, it would indeed suggest a conflation of multiple discussions. Katie's evident hurt during the conversation with Lala indicates that she turned to her as a friend to confide in, only for Lala to seemingly use that trust against her. Ariana's understanding and sweetness further highlight the contrast in their reactions. Despite their prior disagreements, Katie seemed to still consider Lala a friend, as she felt safe enough to confide in her postseason. However, Lala's actions during the conversation suggest a betrayal of that trust, painting her in a negative light. Overall, the confusion surrounding the timeline and Lala's apparent betrayal of Katie's trust reinforces the perception of Lala's behavior as manipulative and untrustworthy. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.